Alright, we're here with Monster X Monster.
Okay, so this is a video game where essentially you're playing something along the lines of Slay the Spire with like the card mechanics, and you're climbing through floors. It has a very similar like map layout kind of thing. Except you're also playing
the
with
menus are freaking the shit out.
Yeah,
of
why
me.
are
menus
the
are freaking
menus
the shit
literally
out.
look like they're fighting with you?
No, yeah, the menus are horrible. They were
Okay.
fighting with me. I think it has to do with my resolution. It didn't support my native resolution, and it also didn't support 1080p. So there's a knock against it, but you know, it's the game itself is very fun. So essentially, you build a team of monsters. So kind of like Darkest Dungeon mechanics, where you move your team forward and back, and different moves can hit at different ranges and stuff. Very much like that within the fights, but as you can see, is very Slay the Spire-esque with that map in the corner and whatnot. So here I'm choosing a body part. This is like the core mechanic of the game. At the end of every fight, instead of picking cards, you choose a body part to put onto one of your dudes. Now it'll either overwrite the body part that they already have, or it'll add to it, like that.
And it looked like the body parts were giving access to more cards. Like, how does that work? Does it is it just additive, or do you lose stuff sometimes too?
You can lose stuff sometimes too. So like, if I already have a set of eyes, you'll see it later on in the video. If I already have a set of eyes and then I want a different set of eyes, then I lose all of the cards that are associated with the eyes I have, because their eyes are being overwritten. But those leaves were a horn type body part attachment, so it just gave me extra.
Oh, okay.
And you know, some of the rarer body parts are actually like rarer to come by, like tails and horns and stuff, because those just add extra cards instead of having to overwrite like a common thing.
It looks like two of your characters just don't have eyes. You're just staring into the void of their skull.
Well, yes, but that's actually a set of eyes that gives you a set of cards.
Oh, I'm sure.
If they don't have eyes, then there just wouldn't be anything there. This is like an elite fight, so you can see the enemies are very like parodic. The idea is that you're a group of monsters who's trying to escape from the dungeon, and the heroes are raiding the dungeon, so you know you're fighting them.
Oh, okay.
But there isn't a whole lot of enemy variety. It's like pretty much every fight on each floor is almost exactly the same, unless you're hunting for elite enemies like this. There are a decent variety of elites.
Now's probably a good time to mention that this game came out into early access in May 2019, so like just a few months ago. So this is a super early access look at this, but it looks pretty playable for being this early.
Yeah, other than the menus fighting you a little bit, it's very very easy. Like it feels natural to play. Like if you've played Slay the Spire, you're probably gonna pick this up really easily.
Speaking of Slay the Spire, it looks like its attack system is kind of curbing off of it a little bit. It has the 8x3 kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that different?
Yeah, it is kind of exactly the same. It'll show you, like in Darkest Dungeon, you can see the enemy's intents as well, but it won't tell you who they're attacking. In this, it shows you like a Slay the Spire style intent. It tells you exactly what's going to happen next turn if you don't do anything to prevent it. And it also tells you which monster they will be targeting, so you have the chance to move your monsters around if you have cards that can move them.
Okay.
That's
a cool piece of that differentiates it from Slay the Spire a little bit. You know, and Darkest Dungeon for that matter, but I think it's closer to Slay the Spire, so.
Right, exactly. Now you can see I've just given my pufferfish a pair of arms, and that's one of the things that I really like about this game. Like, you can just combine some crazy monsters together. Like that, plant guy with the pumpkin shell. He was originally two separate monsters. You have a thing in the menu where all of the monsters you've collected, you can put them in the laboratory and combine them together. So I smushed a pumpkin body together with just a piranha plant looking guy, and it came out like that.
Interesting.
And so now I can use that monster, you know, in any future run. So there is kind of a meta progression in that you unlock new monsters, which you can start out with. But I mean, each new monster is just going to be a different set of parts. It's not like they're strictly more powerful, you know.
Right. Are those black, or I guess brown squares in the top left corner, like your actions per turn or something?
Yeah, that's the actions per turn. It's meat, it's food or
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just-
Is
it's
that what
called
it is?
energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they use like a shared pool of energy, so you can play out of anybody's hand. So that kind of means that like, once you lose one of these characters, they're gone. They're dead. You can't get, as far as I can tell, you cannot add new monsters. You just have to take the one team you start with through the whole thing or bust, right?
Okay.
So once one is dead, they're dead. You're not getting their pool of, you lose out on their pool of cards, but what you also lose out on is basically a draw per turn. So like every
Right.
monster you have is one draw. So drawing
Ah.
4 cards per turn and drawing 2 cards per turn, you're gonna run out of cards eventually if you're only drawing 2 per turn when 2 monsters die. So you gotta really try and keep each one alive. And you'll see that every run I have is ended because one of them dies and I'm like, oh shit, I can't function without that guy.
Ah, yes, Darkest Dungeon. I am familiar.
It's exactly the same.
That's pretty funny.
But this is kind of what I'm talking about. This warrior and elf in the background, like that's pretty much the only encounter in white enemy rooms on this floor. Once you get to the second floor, it's a bigger armor guy and a dude with a magic staff. So
Instead of a bow.
instead of a bow, yeah, exactly. So like, there's not very much enemy variety, especially when you compare it to something like Slay the Spire.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably just due to it being an early
But
access.
yeah, it's super early access. I think he wants
Yeah.
to. I think
Flesh out
it's
the
being
monsters
developed by one
first.
guy. Yeah, wants to flesh out the monsters. The monsters make much more sense to flesh out too. Like
Yeah.
you have enemies to fight.
Yeah, I also played Slay the Spire pretty early, and early on there wasn't a ton of enemy variety anyway. I think they've
Right.
added more as the game's gone on as well. So
So
you
you'll
know.
see I'm comparing like what that guy has on his mouth compared to what this mouth is. So this is gonna be great. I'm giving my pufferfish a little puppy dog mouth now. And it creates all kinds of funny combinations like that.
How long did it take you to figure out you needed to drag your dude into the square? Because that
It does
totally did not
actually-
look
It actually explains that in the tutorial.
okay.
And you see I
there it is.
got
Darkest
really
Dungeon.
greedy. Yeah, I got greedy and lost one of my guys.
Oh no.
Oh wait, no, those
However-
were exploding barrels. Never mind, this is Diablo 1.
Yeah.
That happened in Diablo 2 as well.
Oh yeah,
They
that's
just didn't
smooth.
kill you in Diablo 2.
Now I
Yeah.
want to point out here I'm getting a couple items in a row. So that is another thing. It's kind of a holdover from both Darkest Dungeon and Slay the Spire at the same time. Because some items you have in your inventory and they give you a passive bonus to the whole combat. Like cards that make them fragile, make them deal even more damage, or make you deal even more damage to fragile enemies, you know?
Yeah.
And then some things will equip right to your monster. So like every time you gain block, this monster gains 1 thorns or something, you know?
Right.
So it has like artifacts and like equipable inventory. There's just like a lot of systems working together in this, and they work together pretty well, but I'm imagining that there can get to be some pretty overpowered combinations.
Right.
Which is, in a single player game like this, is always what you want anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's the fun
Yeah,
about getting
synergies.
something in random, yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Especially with this like level of customization. That sounds really nice. I kind of like the way that like I like the way that you have like an attack pool with meat where everyone has the attack pool. It gives you like a lot of different ways to do stuff. I really like
Mhm. And what
It gives you a
what
really large
actually
hand size,
happens
too.
here? Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. What actually winds up happening to me here is like I don't draw any attacks and I take some extra damage. Like, and it's because I'm missing one guy and that one guy had a bunch of attacks on him. So you know it kind of screwed me to lose that guy. And yeah.
yeah.
But of course, there's a lot of mechanics that are just aped right off of Darkest Dungeon. I'm noticing like this guy is poisoned. I poisoned him to death. I think I actually got an achievement there in the recording.
Well,
for
that
poisoning
actually
somebody
that
to death.
happens in Slay the Spire as well.
Right.
This
Slay the
looks
Spire
like the
specifically.
like of all man of all of the games I've played lately. You know, this one really looks like huge combination of like Slay the Spire and Darkest Dungeon. Like more than any other game I've looked at in a long time, it feels like, yeah, this is just what this is. It's like it's just these two things.
And you know what? See, here I get extra greedy. You have to catch the golden snitch. I'm not doing a very good job of it. And every time you click and you don't catch it, you take damage. So you'll see. Oh man, I'm just doing bad.
You're gonna kill your plant, man.
I know.
Did you not realize
yes,
it right
I
away?
did.
Or?
No, I didn't get what it got, but by that point I'm like, I didn't realize it initially, but at that point I was like, well, fuck. Now I've used up some health on doing this. I might as well see it to the end.
Ah, yes, the gambler's fallacy.
Speaking of the gambler's fallacy,
oh no.
Let's see how much gold I can get out of this health machine.
See, Dalsson, this is always your downfall. You always go after the gambling mechanics.
But there was a shop right there.
That's a Mario hat.
And there's really nothing useful. I know, I didn't look at the Mario hat. I'm kind of sad.
The most Mario hat.
There is
There's also a Luffy hat.
Yeah.
There sure is.
That's just
I didn't
Captain
even notice
America
those
shield.
hats. I think they just, like, filtered out of my mind because I couldn't afford them. So.
Yeah.
Right.
The art looks very Newgrounds. Like.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah,
Also,
so,
not necessarily in a bad way, but it definitely looks that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that you can even further customize your monsters, I want to point out there was a item called a scalpel, which lets you remove a card from one of your body parts. So normally if you don't want a card in your deck, the only way to get rid of it is to get rid of the whole body part. But if you get a scalpel, you can remove just one card out of that body part. So you don't have a chance of drawing that, which is really nice, but at the same time, who knows when you're gonna get a scalpel.
The weirdest part about the art style is...
What's that?
Like, the monsters all have, like, that really, like, heavy black line, almost chalk look to them. Whereas all of the characters almost look like I don't know if you guys will understand what I mean, but, like, phone game Family Guy art style.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure. Yeah. I think that's the point. Like, I think that's the idea. Like, fucking... Some dude, hypothetically, some guy playing a phone game is like there with those heroes and they're raiding a dungeon and killing monsters and that's all they're doing. And here you're the monsters that they're raiding against.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. It's a little weird that it's like the art style isn't matched to each other though.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost as if the monsters are lower resolution than the people, which is kind of weird.
Too. It's possible that maybe this is just like a stock paladin, like art.
Yeah, that seems like
something. And like, because he needed to draw the assets for the monsters to make sure they mesh together. And you can even see some of them don't mesh together. Like I have the pufferfish mouth on the crab there, and it's just like kind of sticking out of the void.
Yeah.
But you know, the monsters are clearly the focus of this game. I think that's where the focus should be going at this stage. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of the art in general is probably placeholder. Like a lot of those cards don't look great either, but like I would not be surprised if a lot of that changed later on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, this is what I love, putting together shit like that.
Dude, your crab looks cuter now.
I know, it looks adorable.
Or it looked like mean and angry.
On one of my this room lets you click up to 50 times for
You're like, oops.
You'll see what happened. Yeah, I was like, what? I was just clicking really fast. I'm like, what the fuck happens? Well, that increases my gold gain. In one of my runs, I believe that I ran into 3 of those rooms in a row.
Oh no, it's Solid Snake.
Yeah, this fight is one that shows up all the time. This is kind of why I wish there was more enemy variety, because I fucking hate this fight. The guy in the last spot is going to take 12 damage, period. And a lot of the times I don't have something like you have to find the correct one, right? That's the correct one, I know, because it shuffles at the beginning. It's just like a shell game.
Yeah.
But sometimes he will shuffle himself out of the range of all of your guys, so you have no choice but to kill the ones in front first.
Yeah.
Right.
Darkest Dungeon, I am well aware.
Mm-hmm. There it is. It's the RNG. But it basically means that whoever is in the last spot in your party is going to take 12 damage, period. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
I noticed he didn't just die. Does he have armor or something, or did you put block on him or something?
Yeah, I put block on him, so
Okay.
one of my guys is kitted out as like he can cast block on somebody else. I think he's the pufferfish man.
Right.
Yeah.
I really don't know because it's not like I can just look at the character and say, oh yeah, that's what that guy does, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So
until you learn all of the
Until I learn
bits
all the
do.
parts, yeah.
So it can be hard to remember, like...
Oh, it's this run.
It's
So that artifact that you pick up for getting 50 clicks on this increases your gold gain, and then I just stacked 3 of them. I didn't think it would give me another one. I was surprised.
It's kind of interesting that not all of the parts animate, like, the same.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially the little, like, grass on his head is just kind of
My
floating.
hand got tired on that one.
Damn.
You see me flip my mouse around, I'm like, fuck. Yeah, so again, not much enemy variety. Actually, I don't think I've fought a boss yet, so this is on the same floor as the regular warrior and the archer. So, honestly, I'm
Yeah.
not sure I've ever gotten past floor 1, because I don't think there's any boss variety, and the boss of floor 1 is a huge bitch.
Right. Plus, if it, you know, with the like meta progression, some of the first floor might just be like you getting body parts and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't unlock body parts that you take. Like, once your guys die, they go back to, like, the status quo. The only way to get a guy with new starting body parts is to combine 2 together in that laboratory I was talking about.
Right. Is there any footage of that in this, or?
Yes, it's at the very end. I actually kind of screwed myself over and combined a really good dude with another guy, and it got a really shitty result for this video, so you motherfuckers better thank me.
Hey man, I've killed my characters in the middle of runs just to get footage of dying, so I know how it
Yeah,
feels.
fair enough. Yeah, you can see that I'm really on the ropes here. I actually survive a lot longer than I feel like I should in this run. I think I get to the boss and he just fucks me. But,
It's because you killed yourself on that one thing.
yeah, I know. On the golden snitch.
Yeah.
But man, if I had kept going, I'd have so much gold right now.
Oh yeah. Do you get to keep any of the gold?
No.
Yeah, didn't think so.
Yeah, but I think you do get points for the gold. So at the end of a run, you accumulate points based on how good you do in the run. And once you get 1,000 points, you get a monster egg, and that's how you get new monsters to throw together in the lab. Like, that
Okay.
crab is actually a vanilla monster. I didn't come... Well, not anymore, because I put new parts on him, but, you know, the crab that...
Right,
as
the
he
original
starts,
crab.
He was just straight hatched out of an egg, and he's got a good chunk of HP. He's a really good blocker monster. And that's what I kind of like. It has, like, almost a Pokemon and Shin Megami Tensei thing with the monster fusion going on.
Yeah, a little bit. They don't give you
Because, like-
wholly new monsters. Like, I don't think there's a lot of games that really is about mix and matching parts so much.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to think
Ever-
of one.
Maybe like oh man, I can't remember. It was this game where you drew your own parts. Something Kingdom. I can't remember it, but you could create a little dude to run around in, and you could draw the arm and the leg and the horn and the, you know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
But this isn't even like really similar. You get parts as like a reward for like they're essentially equipment. Like,
Yeah.
in a way. Like, I could imagine this game being exactly the same and a little bit less clever if it was just heroes, and at the end of everything you got a new sword that gave you a set of cards, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit more clever this way. See, here I wasn't paying attention and I lost where the
Dude was, yeah.
dude was. It made me really sad.
Yep,
Oh.
especially since you basically get wrecked because of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe I don't... Oh. Yeah, I have to save myself with a potion. Either that or I forget, Oh, yeah. Yeah. I do save myself with a potion. I think I do get to the boss in this run, because the boss is, like, right there. Oh, this is gonna be amazing.
Oh, yeah, you'll get to the boss with 2 health.
No,
Yeah.
there's a
monster.
rest room there.
Okay,
Fair
okay.
enough.
Speaking of, I didn't catch any, one thing I like about Slay the Spire is its random generation. Like, it generally will guarantee you some chests. It will guarantee you some rest rooms, right?
Yeah.
Also, this mouse did not fit on that character like I thought it would. It's probably because its eyes are attached to a body part instead of a head part. And there was that. Did you see that cruel temptress?
Yeah, I saw that.
I wanted to so
I'm
bad.
glad that I'm glad that this game just sells you the Gendo glasses.
That's it. Here it is. I'm going full blind monk power on this boss. I thought for sure this would work out for me. He has
Based
to
on the way you
unseal all
say
7 of his
that, I'm
chakras.
assuming you were wrong.
Well, you'll see. I think you'll see why. I'm here unsealing my chakras and whatnot. Doesn't work very well, but you know what? It's covering my mouth too, so I have to get the proper breathing technique, you see, in order to unseal all of my chakras or whatever.
I see.
Yeah, and there's the little restroom. You can also upgrade a body part. Now you can see why I have to get my proper breathing technique here.
Ah,
folks.
yes, completely understandable. You definitely need to get your breathing properly.
Oh, this is
so
a
if you
dumb
punch a
JoJo joke,
frog-
isn't
It is a stupid fucking
It
JoJo
absolutely
joke.
is a
I
stupid
was-
fucking JoJo
listen,
joke.
man,
Wait, no,
I was
hold on.
flabbergasted when I saw
This
this.
is not a JoJo joke. This is a goddamn Warhammer 40k joke. That's just one of the fucking,
Oh
that's
yeah,
one of
right.
the-
That's it.
Is it like an inherited joke or something?
It's one
Yes,
of
it's
the
an inherited
Imperial...
joke.
Yeah. It's a...
So here I get an egg, and I don't get a fucking monster egg. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that
Congratulations, you just have
straight
no
up is the final boss of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2.
Part 2,
like,
yeah.
straight up. None,
Yeah.
no fucking in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I combine these two guys.
Combine 2 pufferfish
Why
to
would
make
you
a
do
pufferfish.
I don't know. And then I thought about it, and I was like, that was really stupid. So I combined
Why would
my
you
piranha.
do that?
So I combined my piranha plant together to get better footage.
Oh,
Oh, maybe not.
yeah, no, you did not. Okay.
Okay, well, whew. Good.
Well,
But yeah, that's a good video game there.
Yeah.
I'd recommend at least keeping an eye on it. And
Yeah.
it's like $3 right now. I could definitely see paying like $10 or whatever. for
yeah,
the state it's
considering
in.
this game,
I
like,
could see somebody charging that for it. You know?
I mean, this is really really early on into early access, but considering this game is $3, it seems like a pretty
Yeah.
good deal for $3.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any weird, stupid phone game microtransaction bullshit. It's just a dude that made a game with a cool little idea and wants to sell it. You know?
I mean,
Yeah,
I might say, like, if you are like really into these kind of games and you haven't played Slay the Spire, maybe pick that one up first. But if you already
Oh, yeah,
have Slay
for
the
sure.
Spire and want other stuff, this seems like a good $3 purchase.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
I think that if you were really into these kind of games, you probably played Slay the Spire.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's pretty likely.
I feel like most of the time I talk about games that are like priced higher than I think they should be. This one
Right.
definitely feels like it's priced a lot
Priced
lower than I
lower.
think it should be.
Yeah, it's an interesting twist on
Yeah.
the genre.
I could see the price going up as it gets more features and stuff. Like right
yeah.
now, I probably would only get about $3 worth of time out of it. I'm probably not going to play it anymore until it updates again. But as an early adopter, you know, whatever, that's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I looked at some of the updates and they seem to be fairly regular with it. So there's already been 3 updates or something in the last couple months. So
Right.
looks like they're working on it.
Good.
All right, well, that's Monster X Monster. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you guys next time. And remember, as always,
Stay beautiful.